guys, welcome back to this place, and if you are new, welcome here for the very first time. I'm Carmen, this little cutie is River, and today we are watching season 4, episode 7 of For All Mankind. Now, I am very ready, but also apprehensive and a little bit nervous to see where we're going from here, because a lot happened in the last episode, right? We finally had Margo and Aleda reunite and the sort of repercussions and fallout of that. We had the revelation that I do not have to like Miles because I don't think he's the best person. Samuel. We have cats. What can I say? We also had the... I don't know what you would call them, like the blue collar workers, I suppose, are deciding to go on strike with the help of Ed, who I do not trust his motivations for this. I'm very for them going on strike. I'm very for them unionizing. I just don't know why Ed is. You know what I mean? So I guess we're going to see where that goes. And also, yeah, just everything else that's also been going on is still going on. So all of that being said, let's just get right into this episode and see what drama awaits. Oh, sorry. Also, real quick, if you guys watch this bit of the intro, then I want to let you know that if you're watching this on YouTube, that the poll for the show that will replace For All Mankind in the Friday slot will be available right now. So go and vote if you have any sort of investment in what comes next. If you're just along for the ride and you're like, yeah, okay, whatever. I will put the options in a community poll so you guys know, and maybe I'll even add them to the tag on this video so you guys know what you would be voting for. So yeah, check out the comments and let me know what you want to see next. And without any further ado, again, let's watch it.
Helios is a non-union shop. Any
Well.
strike is grounds for immediate termination.
Well then
fire us.
Yeah.
See how easy it is to do literally anything up here without us.
Fair is fair. These guys put
What
their
she
asses
said.
on the line every single day,
That's
and they
rich
deserve.
coming from you, Ed. I can still hear you whining about how most of these people aren't even qualified to be up here in the first place. But now you're all, what, down with the
calling him
common
out?
man.
Don't try to make this about me. Dan.
Call him out, Danielle.
You
You
know as
know.
well as I do that Helios, NASA, Roscosmos, and all the other M7 countries, they don't give two shits about these workers.
Commander Poole, we are the ones who transformed this base from a couple of halves into a viable mining colony. And all we are asking is for you to honor the deal.
If we let that rock go to Earth's orbit, most of our jobs are gone within a year.
We are running out of time.
And every day you keep dragging your feet is another day closer to letting Goldilocks get away for good.
And then we all lose.
Well, they lose
that what you
anyway. They lose anyway.
What we
We want
want
for you to get off your goddamn throne and give us what's fair.
Okay, well, I don't think that Ed should be the person negotiating
Just
for
how
y'all.
far are you willing to take this,
Oh.
Ed?
The question is, how much are you willing to lose?
I feel like this is a personal vendetta for Ed, though. Like, I fully think that they should, like, meet their demands and let them unionize, you know? Give them a fair pay for fair work, you know? But I don't think that Ed... I don't think that Ed actually cares about these people.
They're gonna try to start the fuel jennies themselves.
Yeah, they're trying to fuck us. Are we gonna let that happen?
Ed, what is your stake in this? You have no stake. I wouldn't listen to you. No offense. But, like, if they actually have a vested stake in this, you do not. So, I would, like, shut the fuck up, to be quite honest.
Where are all the suits?
Well, they need there has to be at least
So
one
you're
suit in
telling me
there.
There are no other accessible suits on this entire base?
Yes, ma'am. And they use the rovers to block the airlocks at the fuel plant. It's a clever move. You gotta give it to them.
Here we are on the cusp of grabbing something that could change everything for a lot of people, and we just can't get out of our own goddamn way.
Well, if y'all would just work
All right.
with
Well,
the
what if we
people
went
who do the
under
work.
instead of over?
What does that mean? Please explain. Underground?
Smells nice.
That'd be the gray water from the composting tanks.
I would not.
May обновили проектную траекторию 2003 LC.
I wonder if her Russian is good. If anyone is actually Russian or speaks Russian, let me know.
A representative of Roscosmos must go to Houston to finalize the negotiations.
They want
I
her.
agree. And I'll do everything I can to help prepare them for the trip.
President Korzenko has requested for you to do this.
I'm sorry?
We have negotiated diplomatic immunity for you for the entire time you're there. They cannot touch you. They cannot arrest you.
I don't... No. I can't go back. That was not part of our agreement.
The agreement has changed.
Well, but you can't change the agreement if one of the agreeing parties doesn't
It
agree.
is imperative to the president that we send our most capable representative.
They're gonna not
Come on.
like her.
The only reason Korzenko wants me to go back is so he can stick a finger in Gore's eye.
Perhaps. But still, it would be wise to accept the request.
Yeah, but they're gonna be so mad at her. She betrayed them. I don't even know if the finger quotes are necessary.
Is Alita Rosales from Helios Aerospace, who works side by
Alita.
side with Margo Madison, the woman Majority Leader Feinstein has called the worst traitor in American history. Alita.
That's a bit much. That's a bit much. There's been some real fucked up traitors in American history.
You fucking sandbagged me. Barely even asked me about the asteroid.
And how are you feeling about her proposed return to Houston? I'm sorry? Our source at the
Oh,
State
don't.
Department
Why
is saying she'll be granted
are they
diplomatic
telling her
immunity.
this on TV?
I thought you wouldn't be allowed back into the country.
No one did. I mean, did you have a sense that she was working for the Soviets behind the scenes?
You know what I get a sense of? That you're a hack of a reporter. That Okay, all your give me that.
Max, you're not doing this, okay?
Good for her, honestly.
She's trying to get good.
Yeah, right? I agree with him. Like, good for her. Be like, fuck you, don't do this to me. This is not fair.
The interview wasn't that bad. In fact, my brother texted me saying how much he loved it when you flipped her off as you were leaving.
Ah, she did! I love
You said
it.
it was all fuzzed out, but
You could tell. They should have put a little eagle on it.
Zero downrange, EDL surge on.
Oh, wait, no, this is
the chop, folks.
the practicing? Or it is? It is, okay. It is Kelly. Dev is gonna get there and be like, y'all on strike, what the fuck?
And you must be the young Luke Skywalker.
Aw, that's cute. This is his first time on Mars? Yes? Yeah, he didn't go in the initial mission.
There's my grandson.
Alex. He's not Poppy. He's never met him properly, though.
You want to give Poppy a hug, kiddo?
Maybe not yet.
No? That's okay, buddy. Come on, you two.
Well, maybe don't only meet him once he's like 8 years old. I don't know.
You've had plenty of time to consider your options. We gotta get this thing resolved now, or that asteroid becomes a distant memory.
I agree.
Thank you for showing me to my quarters, Commander Poole. Much appreciated.
Don't dismiss her like that. We do not dismiss Danielle, okay?
Dev, I know you're used to being in charge, but when you're up here on my base, what I say goes.
Mm-hmm.
Clear?
Yes.
Crystal.
Listen to her. I would hate that, to be honest. I'm not really like claustrophobic or anything, but the idea of it is still like, it makes my chest like tight, you know?
There will still be a robust research presence here. They're not just gonna fold up and go home.
That's my point exactly. It'll end up being some scientific backwater like McMurdo.
What's wrong with McMurdo?
Nothing, but this place could just be so much more. 10 white coats and a cleaning lady. It can be a real colony. A home.
He doesn't want to go back to
You
her.
already have a home.
Because, I get it. He lost a lot on Earth, so he doesn't want to go back there. But still.
All we did was find workarounds.
Well, let's see if your workaround actually works, or if it's gonna be like, and we just blew everything up. Ah! Sorry.
Try now.
Honestly, I don't know who I'm rooting for in this situation, because I think that the workers should unionize and they should get what they're asking for, so. Uh-oh. That thing's shaking. No.
Some of these readings are starting to tip red.
No. Turn it off. Turn it off. Off.
Shut it down.
Yes.
Tell him to shut
Turn
it
it
down.
off.
Hit the emergency cutoff breakers.
Oh, they're all about to die or something. Oh, fuck. It did blow up. I liked Palmer. Fuck.
If we're gonna pull this off, we need the best people from all over the world.
She is the best.
Well, I can't work with her.
Well, before you start...
Yeah,
It's been an accident.
Shit happened.
At Happy Valley.
Shit happened. They might all be dead.
Doctor, we have multiple wounded patients.
Okay, they're not all dead.
Explosion.
I need an IV.
I hope Palmer lived, because I like...
Stabilize him. Burns out airway.
Oh,
Get her on
God.
O2.
She's not gonna make it.
There's the
Oh, she's not gonna make it. That was real bad.
3 liters lactated ringers. Cover those wounds and ghosts.
Or he, sorry.
Doctor, he's breaking down.
Yeah, he's like...
Move it.
That's so bad.
Our man has access to standard attenuated energy projectile systems. High pressure nitrogen weapons firing non-lethal rounds, and they can't pierce the walls of the habs.
And skin?
He doesn't tickle.
Delightful. So you're suggesting what?
Yeah.
That we have the CIA and the KGB take control of the base?
We just thought you should know. In case
Let's
things
not. That seems like a
Oh, I hear you, Bob, but I am not going to be the
escalation.
guy that authorizes
Giant
the
escalation.
CIA to implement martial law on Mars.
Yeah.
We
Let's
need
not
to
do that.
reestablish firm control of this base.
Oh
and
God,
stop
everything's
these
going to
terrorist
fucking
attacks from
shit.
happening ever
Terrorism?
again.
Really?
Well, what would you call it, Eli? I mean, it's happened before. In fact, it's happened right here.
Enough.
That's not
End
what
of conversation.
happened. It was an accident of when they were trying
Need to
to
find another solution here.
take back shit.
We could deputize people on Happy Valley, people with adequate military training.
Wait, what are we talking about?
Well, how many people are there like that up there?
Probably a lot.
Between us and the Soviets, must be at least a dozen, if not more.
Because, I mean, Ed and Gordo and them all had military training
All right.
before they joined NASA, right? Seems like there's a lot of overlap in astronauts and military.
So keep your eyes open for anything suspect. We have
It's
got to
escalated
make
so
certain
quickly.
that a tragedy like this never happens again.
But, like, that wasn't the intention. They just thought you wouldn't be able to do it. They didn't think you would do that, then it would blow up. There was no premeditated shit. Oh.
Okay, so then give us what we're asking for. Send Goldilocks to Mars.
Look, I wish I could tell you that were a possibility. but
Maybe
the
not
truth is,
that, but the money and
the
stuff.
nations of Earth will never send this asteroid to Mars.
Yeah, I
You know
just
why?
don't think that that's within his
Because it's
purview.
not in their financial interest.
Yeah.
And
5
space
years
is
versus
a
40
business.
years.
It's about resources. It's about the bottom line. It's about profit.
He's not wrong.
You know, go ahead and scoff all you want to, but I mean, that's what this strike is all about, isn't
We
it?
live in a capitalistic society.
want your cut.
Everything is about
Your
profit
slice
at
of
the
the
end of the
pie.
day. Every business cares
came
about
here
profit over
to make a living.
most other things. It's
But
just
what you're asking,
facts.
changing the destination of this asteroid, that is never going to happen. But I'm gonna tell you what can't happen.
Agree with him on that.
NASA and Roscosmos have agreed to your workplace safety concerns. And as CEO of Helios, I'm ready to offer you a 40% increase in your pension contributions.
What about pay
More
now,
generous
though?
health plan and
Pay now.
shares of Helios stock to everybody.
Okay.
Don't believe a goddamn word this man says. He's a snake oil salesman.
I'll also make sure that everybody involved in the strike gets amnesty for any and all actions conducted during the negotiations of the last few
She
days.
needs that.
And the first 100 people to cross this line
Because they want to call
will receive
her a
a
terrorist.
quadruple payday bonus, which will put you just north of $1 million each.
Oh, people are going to cross that line. They're going to cross it. They're going to cross
Hey, you
it.
see what he's trying to do? He's trying to buy us off and undercut our solidarity. We can still win this if we stick together.
I don't think you're
right.
going to get the asteroid
Yeah,
to Mars.
Sure, you can try to do that, but you have to ask yourself, what's more important? Some abstract notion of togetherness, or is it your families back home? Is it your kids, your nieces, your nephews?
They should be
your
able to
parents?
unionize, though. If you're a company that's not
Grandparents?
letting your
Or is it
workers
some rock
unionize, you're
that is
shady. You're shady,
floating out in space.
Dev. I mean, $1 million when you were gonna get 5,000
I rep 12 at the fuel plant.
is a
Welcome.
big fucking
Got 88 more.
Come on.
jump.
What are you doing?
Don't do this.
I can't blame them.
Cowards.
And you
Quitters.
don't need it, so you can't.
Must stand strong.
I get it. Girl, no offense,
Make me
but
sick.
you need to go over that line because you were the one who did the thing. You need that amnesty. Yeah. You, good. You need that amnesty.
Why?
Immunities keep. Sorry.
She needs it. They want to say that it was a terrorist, like she did it on purpose, and she didn't. And if they find out it was her, you know, I don't blame her. Oh, he's leaving. Sam, you never could have trusted him. I'm sorry, hun. You should have seen that the whole time. Where is
Well done, Dev.
Miles, though?
You just killed Mars.
He's a businessman. Profit over everything else. Ed, you get to see. I want to see Sergei's response to this. Are we ever going to see him again?
Margo Madison. I'm Eli Hobson. Welcome to the Molly Cobb Space Center.
Thank you.
Holy cow.
Shall we?
I thought there would be like a big crowd protesting.
I need your help.
How the fuck would I help you?
Because we both want the same thing. To never go back.
Oh.
You don't know.
You're still here, aren't you?
He doesn't want to
After
go
all
back.
these
I
years?
agree. I didn't realize Dev never wanted to
You
go
and I
back.
both know that Mars has the potential to become a living, breathing society. Something that lasts well beyond the two of us. And we can make that happen.
How?
You just ruined any chance of that.
I know that was painful. Believe me, I know. To see how driven they all were by self-interest, by greed. It would be funny if it wasn't so predictable.
But I don't think that's what
The strike,
they were driven
for all its
by.
inconveniences, it wound up being a blessing.
I think you
Because
just
a few of you
fundamentally
you
must
showed just how much you believe in your cause.
understand what people are
How
driven
much
by.
that you would sacrifice for something greater than yourselves. We're gonna need as much of that as we can get.
What the fuck are you talking about?
I'm talking about the future, Ed.
Sorry.
About taking what is rightfully ours.
The asteroid? You just said that that couldn't happen, and I agreed with you, sir. So what the fuck? What the fuck? What the fuck? What the fuck?
You can't be serious.
I mean, I'm not
Do
surprised.
you want to help me steal an asteroid?
Steal it? Y'all fucking crazy! Sorry, that's...
Yeah.
I am...
X gon' give it to you. Fuck, wait for you to get it on your own. X gon' deliver to you. Knock, knock, open up the door.
What the fuck, though? Like, do you want to steal an... How you go steal an asteroid. Okay, you guys. So a lot happened in this episode, and I am still trying to process it in this little brain here. But let's talk about it. So let's not bury the lead this time. Dev and Ed want to steal an asteroid. Okay? This is like trying to smuggle a whole ass person to Mars times a fucking 1,000. Okay? Like I need to know the plan, because I just don't understand how he wants to steal an asteroid. Also, I don't understand how he just flat out lied to everyone to get them on his side. He's like, yeah, we'll do this, blah, blah, XYZ. The asteroid's not going to happen. I was sitting here like, yeah, I agree. The asteroid is not going to happen. You're not going to get these planets to invest in a 40-year plan, 35, whatever, when 5 years is possible. Because again, like Dev kind of said when he got everyone to join or leave the strike and not unionize, people care about money. I disagree with his hypothesis that all of those people were doing it for greed or whatever. I think they wanted fair compensation for the work that they were doing, and they wanted to not be fucked over by the company they worked for. And I think, if anything, the fact that he does not want his employees to unionize reflects poorly on him and not poorly on them for trying. That being said, we live in a capitalistic society, right? I've said it many times. I can only speak for the United States, right? Because I only live here. But this society that we exist in it's capitalist, right? That means that money rules everything, right? I'm not going to get too much into it because there's a lot I could say, but we live in a capitalistic society, right? Therefore, there's no way that these M7 nations would ever agree, again, to 35 years over 5 years. 35 years with the best chance of helping Mars and helping humanity as a whole doesn't matter if the profit can be in 5 years, right? Like, that's going to be way easier to sell. Just like with Dev, it's going to be easier to sell, I'll give you $1 million right now, versus you stay, you continue to strike, you whatever, you'll get money maybe at some point later in the future, right? Like, it's easier to sell $1 million right now. And I personally do not judge anybody who stopped the strike and walked over that line, because they're not all in the same situation. That one lady, they were calling her a terrorist. They were saying that they were talking about a lot of shit, like, like this was this, and it wasn't. They thought she did it on purpose. Like, there was a lot more consequences if she didn't get amnesty, yeah? Or immunity. So, I don't blame anyone who stepped over that line. Like, a lot of them, like, the reason they ended up here is because they need the money. They're not, wealthy. They're not Dev. They can't afford to be out of work, So I don't judge anyone who took the bailout, basically, right? I judge Dev for having such an issue with his people wanting to unionize, but I don't judge them for choosing themselves and their families in that moment. I don't. Because like I said, when you live in a society that values money over everything, you have to play the game. You have to try to make money. Like, do I think that we live in a world that has enough food for everybody, enough houses for everybody, enough resources for everyone if we would just be willing to share? Yeah, I do. And I know that people want to put a lot of labels on me because of my belief in that, right? I wish that we did not live in a capitalistic society. I wish we lived in a society that valued us taking care of each other more, right? Like, I wish that every kid in the world could have free lunches. I wish that every kid in the world could have food, every adult. I wish that every single person in the world had a home to live in. I wish that all the animals in the world had enough food and water and homes and nobody that treated them shitty. I wish that, that for every person. Like, I think that it is a reflection on us as a whole, as humanity, that we have enough food and there are people that go hungry, that we have enough houses and there are people that are homeless, that we have enough resources and there's people that can't pay for their basic medical needs. I think that reflects poorly on us as a society. Now, this is a tangent, so I'm going to come back to For All Mankind now. But I think that you cannot blame these people when the world that they live in values money, that they have to play the game and also value money, right? Like, Dev wants the asteroid because he wants to live on Mars, right? Because he doesn't want to go back to Earth, because he's like, there's nothing left for me there. That's why he talked to his mom before he left. And I mean, honestly, based off their conversation, I can't disagree with him. Like, she fundamentally misunderstands who he is as a person. And it's unfortunate, but I can understand why he would think that there was nothing left for him on Earth. I can understand why after every single thing that Ed lost, he doesn't want to go back to Earth. He doesn't want to go to an Earth that took Karen from him. Space has kind of been his safe haven, right? Earth took his son from him. It took the love of his life from him. Like, you can understand why Ed would choose space in this instance. Now, and I can understand why Dev would. I don't know if they're going to be able to get this asteroid. Like, I don't know what the plan is. I don't know how the nations will feel if the plan succeeds. Like, obviously, it's going to be hard for them to, like, punish anyone on Mars, because you would have to, like, get them back to Earth or go to Mars. And that's not just super easy. And they do have basically, like, a self-sustaining society on Mars. It's actually better for Kelly and Alexei if they stay on Mars, because Alexei was created in the conditions of Mars, and therefore being on Earth and in the gravity of Earth is harder on his body than being on Mars. So if Ed stays and they stay, it's actually better. But basically, I don't know. I feel like none of that made sense. Essentially what I'm trying to say, I don't know how they're going to do it, but I also don't know that if they do it, that Earth will be able to really reprimand them, because of the vast distance that they would have to travel to get to them in the first place. And, like, they would also have this valuable resource that they can choose to share or not share with you. And obviously you're gonna want them to share it with you. No? So I don't know. Anyway, sorry. I know I went off on a tangent about living in a capitalistic society, but just, they're trying to unionize, they're trying to strike. That's all about the society we live in and what it places value on, right? And the value in the society we live in where the society we live in places the most value is on money. And it's unfortunate, but it's true. I'm actually a little bit surprised by Aleda's stance on Margo coming back to the United States. Like, I would have thought, because we saw Margo tell Aleda everything, like the whole story, all of it, like no ifs, ands, and buts about it, that she would maybe understand that Margo was doing what she thought was right. Now, I guess Aleda doesn't have to agree that what Margo did was right, but I think wanting her to get arrested in the United States, like, she would get executed, right? Like, I think that's the only punishment for what she did, which would be considered treason, no? And I just didn't foresee Aleda feeling like that would be an appropriate punishment, so I guess that surprises me. But yeah, I don't know. I wonder if push came to shove, if Aleda would actually want Margo to be punished that severely. I can understand Aleda being like, I don't want to work with her. That I totally get. Like, she hurt you, she betrayed you. I fully understand her being like, I want nothing to do with her as a person. I just don't know if I agree with her being like, taking that next step of like, and she should be arrested for treason. You know what I mean? So, I don't know. I'll be interested to see where that goes. Ed needs to be more sensitive when it comes to Alexei, but Ed needs to be more sensitive just in general, and he's sort of always kind of struggled with that. So I don't know. I don't know how it's gonna go. I really want Ed to get close to Alexei. If Ed is planning on staying on Mars, and if Mars does turn out to be better for Alexei, then Kelly might want to long-term stay on Mars for Alexei's benefit. They could really form a good, strong family unit on Mars. And I want that for Ed. I want him to stop feeling so isolated and alone. And of course, it is self-isolation. He's pushing Danielle away. He's doing to Alexei what he did to Shane that I had such a problem with in season 1, which is like this, he doesn't like Parmesan. He very politely said, no thank you to the Parmesan. And Ed still did it. He's like, no, he needs to expand his horizons. When in reality, Ed needs to respect Alexei's boundaries as a human being, you know? And I know that Ed is not from the generation that does that. I know that. But I think that we're always capable as people of learning and growing and changing. So I think that the fact that he raised Kelly differently, him and Karen, than they did Shane, proves that he is capable of that. So he needs to extend that also to Alexei. And the fact that he's a boy, of course, complicates the whole toxic masculinity of it all for Ed. I know. I've many times stated my issues with him, like, man up, just do this, blah, blah. But I think that also this is an opportunity for Ed to do that, to change and grow and become a better version of himself. And I would be here for that, because as frustrating as Ed is, I think I like him. Overall, I think that there's a good person under the, like, curmudgeon-y, stubborn, prideful, frustrating Ed. And I would like to see Alexei bring that out in him. I think Alexei is a chance for him to get it right where he got it wrong with Shane. And so I would really like to see that happen, you know? I think it's fucked up that they call her Moscow Margo, but also, here's the thing. I get it because she betrayed this country and defected to a country that she was giving information, and then defected to a country that at the time that this was all happening was not necessarily really an ally of the United States. So I think that everyone who doesn't personally know her has a right to feel like, oh, she's just a traitor and we don't like her. And I think that the people who do personally know her have a right to feel even more betrayed by her choices. So it is what it is. Like, I hate it because I love Margo and I feel like I understand her choices and I empathize with her and I don't want anything bad to happen to her. But if I take myself out of being the person who has watched her journey for all these seasons, and I'm just a regular person seeing this on the news, I would probably be like, yeah, fuck you, you know? So I can't blame them for also probably feeling that way. I will say I loved Danielle. This is just a brief thing. But I loved her going into Dev's room and being like, you need to fucking listen to me because I'm in charge. Because I agree. Danielle is not getting the respect that she deserves, and it's pissing me off this season. It's bothering me. Like, Danielle is great. And I think that she is trying her hardest to do the right thing by everyone. And so, like, it's why I have such a struggle when I'm trying to figure out who to root for, because I root for the union, the people who are striking. Like, I can't help but root for them. But then I also am like, I root for Danielle because I love her. So it's very conflicting. So anyway, basically I love Danielle and I need them to respect her more because the disrespect is bothering me. Yeah, I think that's kind of all I really need to say about this episode. Thank you guys so much for watching. As always, I hope to see you guys in the next episode. And if you want to watch the next one right now, you can. If you're on YouTube, you can watch the next episode over on Patreon, which is linked in the description down below, as well as my full-length reaction to this episode and all of the full-length reactions to For All Mankind so far. That is over on Patreon as well. And also, if you're watching this on YouTube, I already mentioned at the beginning, but I'm going to mention it again, you can vote to see what replaces For All Mankind in the poll that will be available if you're watching this on YouTube right now. It's available. It's at the $1 tier, and you can choose what we watch next. And also, because I know people will be like, but there's a season 5 of For All Mankind coming. I know. And I will watch it, you guys. Do not fret. You will see my reaction to season 5. We just don't know when it's coming yet. So I can't just wait. You know, I gotta watch something else. I gotta expand my horizons. I gotta keep watching TV, you know? So, yeah. But do not worry. When season 5 comes out of For All Mankind, you will watch me watching it. We'll watch it together and see what happens. Anyway, I am gonna let you guys go. But, like I said, thanks so much for watching, and I hope to see you in the next one. Until then, bye guys!